Hello, Sam Tenney here. Hope you're doing well. Wanted to send out a brief update. About a month ago was the first time I sent out a video, something that's not easy for me to do. I asked my sister, we were in Phoenix together for spring break. I asked my sister the next day what she thought of the video, and she said that she watched the first few seconds of it and turned it off. She said she just couldn't go on. She was too embarrassed for me. So thank you, sis, for your support. It reminded me of a story when I was a teenager. In our church, the custom is young teenagers often speak in front of the congregation, and that's a nerve-wracking time. And my dad sat us down one time. One of us was giving a talk in church, and as we're not the nicest to each other as siblings, he gave us the advice to look at a lady in the back row named Betty Gomez. He said, no matter how bad you do and how much you screw up on your talk or speech, she won't make fun of you. And I've always thought about that. Wanted to relate that to our business. Obviously at Fidelis, we get involved in very personal things with your finances, and one of the principles we pride ourselves on is not being judgmental and accepting you however you are. And who hasn't made mistakes with money? We all have. So you can feel accepted and understood with us, and we're grateful for the opportunity to help people in all different circumstances. If you're an existing client of ours, you've probably seen your quarterly investment statements, which have recently come out. Just know that hopefully you won't judge us too much for that. The numbers have obviously gotten better over the last couple of weeks as the markets have rebounded. We do think this is temporary, and it'll be a roller coaster for the next few weeks and months, but in the end it'll all work out. Over the last 6 months or so, we've talked a lot about valuations in the market and how expensive stocks were and how we wanted to be defensive, as well as concerns over corporate debt and illiquidity and in the repo market. I wrote a blog post on March 9th that was titled The Perfect Storm, and that's where we highlighted some of the concerns we saw, in addition to the virus and oil that snuck up on everybody pretty much. We're glad we've been defensive throughout this process. We think based on the way earnings are coming out right now and the way the stock market's rebounded over the past few weeks, the stock market is even more overvalued at the moment. So we are continuing to have patience and wait for a better entry point to become more aggressive. We do think obviously the stimulus from the Fed and the government has helped stem the tide of the crisis. And in essence, the Federal Reserve has written a bridge loan for the entire economy to try and get out of this mess, and it seems to have worked so far. And good news that it sounds like the economy is going to start opening up, at least on a gradual basis, pretty quick. So there's a lot to be grateful for and optimism coming ahead. Now, to be realistic, we do think long term that the amount of debt that we have as a country and stocks being overvalued will provide some headwinds for us going forward, which this is not easy to say, but I do think for long-term investors, the importance will be how much you save or put away, how much you put into your 401ks, how much you decide to set aside for the future will matter a whole lot more if long-term returns are reduced by all this debt and other things that are going on in the economy, which I know that's not what anyone wants to hear, but it's probably the reality of our situation. But with 20 million people that have applied for unemployment in the last month, that's a significant headwind, and certainly many of them will come back to work hopefully in the coming days as the economy reopens. We are optimistic about the future, but we also want to be realistic and make the best informed decisions we can. So we hope you have a great day. We know you're anxious to get out. Be smart and take care of yourself, and know that we are thinking about you, and we want you to be happy and safe and protected, and we want to get back to a newer, better, a normal as soon as possible as well. Lori and Don are working from home, and the rest of our staff, and I'm in the office, and we'll be ongoing. And if you need anything, let us know. If you have any questions about your statements or anything that's come up, let us know. We're happy to help. Have a great day.